everybody, welcome back. So today we are talking healthy foods, and we have Tracey Neville and vitality expert James Vickers, and they're going to be taking you through their super healthy snacks. Also this evening we have loads more content, and don't forget to tag us in on all your pictures this week.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to day 11 of the Vitality Half-Term series. My name is Jamie and I'm one of the Vitality coaches. It's really great to see everyone again today, and thankfully we are discussing my favorite topic again. It's all about food. So for this one, I obviously was there on Tuesday for the pancake day session. My fire alarm went off, didn't really work very well. So thankfully today we've got a couple of experts who are going to take us on this journey. So first off, we have James Vickers, who is a registered nutritionist and, in my opinion, one of the best chefs that I know. James, you taught me how to cook steak once, so you must be pretty good. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. That was a challenge that day to try and get you to cook steak. So
yeah, I think so.
Hopefully this one's a little bit easier today.
Exactly. If this one goes any more smoothly, then it'll be a total success. But I was just teeing you up because it doesn't get much more difficult than that. But joining James today, we're really lucky to have one of the Vitality ambassadors. Tracey Neville, MBE, most importantly, is a former England netball player, playing over I think you played 81 games for England, Tracey. Obviously, since then, we're a coach. You guided the team famously to Commonwealth Gold in 2018. And I also think you may be one of the nicest people I've ever met. So, Tracey, thank you for joining us today. How you doing?
There might be a few disagreements with that, Jamie, but thank you. Yeah, I'm doing well. I'm a bit worried, actually. It's normally, as a coach, you normally send your athletes to these workshops, and now I'm being put under a little bit of pressure to. So, James, I hope you're good with an inexperienced novice here.
You didn't see me trying to teach Jamie.
Yeah, you're in safe hands, Tracey, trust me. And Tracey, before I pass over to James, I just want to ask you a couple of questions, because I feel like, when we watched you in the Commonwealth Games in 2018, it was one of those moments where kind of everyone remembers where they were because it was so iconic. So just wanted to get your thoughts on kind of how that whole experience was for you, because it seems like one of the biggest events that we've seen in netball over recent years.
Yeah, I think the most intimidating thing was being in this stadium with loads of green and gold, and it felt for England netball on Saturday that seemed to be our gold medal. That's where we broke the glass ceiling. That's where we got into our first ever final at a World Championships, like the Commonwealth Games. So when we went in on Saturday, it felt like we had nothing to lose, and that's always a great position for a team to be in, because we were really up for it. We hadn't really slept the night before because we've really been looking and enjoying it, enjoying watching the game back, enjoying the feeling and really appreciating that moment. I think that's something that is underestimated in sport. You never really have time to do that. So on the Sunday, we went out against Australia, and it just felt that everything went to plan. It felt that every piece of the jigsaw went in. And then obviously in that last moment, everything wwent our way. And you say sometimes it's luck, but you make your own luck, I think, in sport, and them girls had definitely made the luck. And for England netball, it just felt that it was everybody's history. There was so much history involved in that gold medal, and it felt that everybody was a part of it. So yeah, it was great to be there and great to be in the stadium, but also as an athlete, a coach, and obviously a fan of the Roses, and it was just so great. It was such a great moment.
Yeah, I think we all loved it, sharing that joy with you. And Tracey, I was at an event with you a couple of years ago, and there was a netball court there, and I knew you were a good coach because you watched me for 5.
Oops, Jamie gone.
Everyone's frozen.
Am I back?
You're back.
Yes, you're back.
Are we good? Okay, fine. Anyway, I'm going to pass over, but we've obviously extended the invite to our Vitality family as well. So we have Ella and Mia joining us as well today, who were there for the pancakes on Tuesday. So these two are definitely experienced chefs. Ella, again, I think has got the head chef role. Mia, just there to cause some chaos along the way. So I'm going to pass over to James, and you guys have some fun, and I'll catch up with you all at the end.
Cheers, Jamie. Yeah, so today we're going to be doing some snacks. Obviously, you can make snacks as healthy as you want, but basically I just wanted to incorporate a little bit of fruit. But this you can enjoy as a snack. You can also enjoy it warm with maybe a little bit of ice cream as a little bit of a treat. So hopefully, Tracey, I'm going to teach you how to do this. I haven't cooked this before. I haven't done this before either, so it's new to me. So the idea of it is just to get a little bit hands-on, get started, make it pretty simple. There's not many stages to it, and then hopefully you can follow along. So first,
now,
we're going to start
James,
with the...
I'm going to say I failed a little bit here, because normally I would go in with my coaching book with the method and everything. So I've got no method. So you're literally teaching me from scratch this. So bear with me on this, won't you?
Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure, like your players, they always blame the coach. So I'm pretty sure the blame will fall on me. So yeah, I'll walk you through it nice and simple. So what we've got is we've got apricots, we've got some sugar, some porridge oats, got some butter, and then I've got some chopped almonds as well. And all we're basically going to do is mix two mixes really. One is going to be the fruit and the sugar, and then the rest is going to go in with the oats. So if we start with our apricots, have you chopped yours yet, Tracey?
Oh, see, preparation's key, but I've just spilt them all over the kitchen.
We're going to be mixing together anyway. So with the apricots, we're going to pop them into a pan. So all we need is 2 saucepans on the hob. We're going to pop the apricots in the pan just on a sort of medium-low heat. And then we're going to put a little bit of sugar in. So it should be about 30 grams of sugar in with that. And then that's just going to sit on the back. So don't need to touch it too much. Just stir it every so often. And then just have you got a little bit of orange, lemon juice as well?
Yeah. Is that 2 tablespoons?
Yeah, so you've got it measured out properly.
Oh,
put me to shame.
I know. It was the 30 grams of sugar that's confused me. Are we putting the light brown sugar in it, James, or are we just putting any sugar in?
You can put any sugar in. Normally, I'm happy with any sugar. What you'll learn from me, Tracey, with my cooking is I don't really follow recipes. So this is new to me as well. So I've got it's sort of like medium brown sugar. So it's not too light, it's not too dark. But it's completely up to you. Whatever you've got in the cupboard, you can put caster sugar in if you want.
I just got the sugar that we put in the tea.
That's fine. Completely fine. But that's it. I mean, that's all that goes in at the start. What will happen is the sugar will melt. The lemon juice will give it a little bit of freshness to the fruit. It'll all mix down together. So like I say, medium-high heat, and that'll just melt down a little bit. That's really easy, that bit. You don't need to worry too much about that one, Tracey. So if that goes wrong, then it must be my fault.
It makes me laugh at actually this recipe. It used to be my nan's favourite, but she wasn't a chef. So if you remember the recipe, don't follow her recipes. That make you a chef? Because I think she must have been a chef when she was younger, because she used to just have it all in her head.
Yeah, I'm not a chef. I'm just a cook. I mean, if people are watching this who are professional chefs, they'll be saying, "What are you saying to use any sugar for? You should use the right sugar." I know, for instance, the girls have actually already done this. They did this earlier with the mum. So the girls have already done their compote. And I think they use nectarines for that as well. So something a little bit different. And that's the beauty of cooking, I think, is, try not to just do the same thing over and over again. Try and mix it up a little bit. So you can use things like plums, peaches, nectarines like you girls have used. So try and mix it up. I've got apricots today. I really like apricots. I think they're really, really nice. So they're really, really tasty. So that'll cook down. It should go down to, let's see yours again, girls. What does yours look like? Yeah, so nice liquidy. So that'll just reduce down. So Tracey, you said before about you used to send some of the players on courses and stuff. What kind of courses did you send them on?
I think when I was playing, we just used to get nutritional information. So it used to be like a presentation or someone just speaking to us. And I feel that there's a lot of knowledge in, teaching people how to cook. And we had a really great nutritionist at England Netball. And Terry used to take the girls into actually a kitchen and show them how to maximize recipes with the minimum amount of ingredients, throw things together, make them healthy, and I think a lot of it was about pre-planning as well. These girls are out training all day, they're working, So it's about being prepared as well. So it was actually really exciting. And there were times when she used to actually make the girls cook, and we used to go and obviously appreciate it by eating it. So I think there's a lot of people just that instantly think that people can cook, or they know what to do. And I think she was amazing in being able to just make a note, just teach the basics, and once you know the basics, you can virtually cook everything. And I think that sometimes we can overcomplicate things with recipes.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, it's a big part of sport now, isn't it? Nutrition.
Yeah, definitely. And it was something that the girls really needed, because a lot of the time the girls are that they actually cook for themselves in student accommodation. We didn't always have hotels or someone cooking for us. So, and the girls actually started to actually appreciate that more. They got a little bit of, their own space. They could cook the food that they want for performance. Because, you're in a team of 12 players. Every single one has individual needs. So it was actually it was beneficial for them to cook themselves.
Well, that's good. And like you say, not everyone can cook straight away. It's not something that comes naturally to some people.
And it's something that some people don't enjoy, do they? It takes time, and a lot of people these days don't have that time, do they?
No, exactly. So let's just leave that to cook a little bit. I'm going to move that onto a different hob. I think everyone has a favourite hob they use on the cooker, I think.
I just have the right one at the front.
Are you bottom right?
Yeah, bottom right.
I'm the same. Exactly the same. So all that's going to go in this next pan. I'm going to pop the butter in. There's quite a lot of butter in this recipe, but this is going to hold it all together. So pop all the butter into the pan, so that's going to melt down. I'm going to put the rest of the sugar in here as well, and some syrup. So girls, if you did your pancakes the other day, did you have syrup left over? You got some syrup left over. You should put that all in the same pan. So now you're a step ahead of me, aren't you, girls? You've already done your fruit.
I know.
So Ella and me are a step ahead of me. So
I've got
the rest of the sugar.
I've got this biggest dread that mine's not going to purify here, James.
Well, we'll wait and see. If it doesn't, it'll just be nice and lumpy.
Oh. So Mia and Ella, do you play netball? Are they in? They're not in.
They're there. They're too busy cooking.
Are they?
They're on to the next stages now.
Are they? They're ahead of us, James. They're like experts, aren't they?
I'm following them, I think.
I think Steph is the secret person.
Yeah, definitely. But that's it. With the success of England netball, have you seen or have you heard a lot more around more people playing it? Obviously, it's a bigger sport now than it probably was in terms of the Vitality Super League, for instance.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for me was everyone says what was the biggest moment in your life, and it had to be after the Commonwealth Games and the change that happened to netball. We had huge people like yourself, Vitality, coming on board and continuing to support not only our national team but also our national club competition. We saw the fan engagement within netball, within the communities. I think we had something like 130,000 people take up netball in the first 3 months after that Commonwealth Games. And you talk about changing a sport, and I think when you were younger, when I played club level, I had like my mum and my nan sat on the bench, and that was about it at the side of a sports hall. And the change, you always want to change sport, and I think England netball did that at that particular time, and it makes me quite emotional considering I've been watching my two brothers have that joy within their sport for over 20 odd years. So for netball to move on, and it is amazing for a women's sport. Yeah,
definitely. I mean, it's big business now, isn't it? Sport, and it's great to see women's sport as a whole become such a big thing. I've got younger cousins who are a little bit older than Ella and Mia, but the opportunity for her to play more sport and to get involved in it, I've seen that her develop from a young age. She plays women's football now, and she's 18. I think she's pushing on 18 now, so she's going in. There's a pathway now, whereas there never used to be.
Yeah, and there's a lot more investment into that pathway as well. It's harder to get into, and I look at my nieces who are only 12 and 13, and they're coming through as trained athletes now. They get beginning of training programs when they were younger, where we were just left to to presume that we understood what training was, and that just wasn't the case. And I think what was amazing, which I think is really good, this pandemic's been very, very tough on a lot of people, and they're not able to get out. Netball becomes an outlet for social engagement, from the mental well-being, health and well-being, and I think with this pandemic, I think it's been absolutely crucial that people like Vitality and Netball have really been started to engage people virtually, and even the Roses players. And I think that has enabled people to keep the momentum going, thinking netball's going to come back. And with obviously the start of the Vitality Super League, which started last weekend, and just the graphics around it, it feels like there's fans in there. So that they're making it, they're actually bringing netball to your home. And we, and full applaud to people who are behind the scenes, who are making this happen.
Yeah, definitely. It's great to see it. And I'm a big lover of sports. Like, my wife will tell you, anything that's on telly, I put it on. She's like, how can you enjoy it? You don't even know what the teams are. You don't know any of the players. It doesn't matter. I enjoy watching sports. That's what happens. So it's great to see. So at the moment, you should have 2 pans going. You should have your fruit in one, which should be going a little bit mushy. The girls are already a step ahead there. Your butter, sugar, and syrup should be melting in the other pan.
It's melted mine, James. Shall I take it off the heat?
Is it already melted?
Yeah. Yeah,
if it's melted, then take it off. Just all this is going to do, this is going to go in with the oats. So we'll put that in a second. So let it cool a little bit. You don't want to burn our fingers.
Yeah.
So what I've got in here is the porridge oats. So I don't know what I'm going to do for the rest of the week because I've got no porridge. So that's what I have these flapjacks for breakfast now. So in there you've got your porridge oats. Then I'm just going to pop the almonds in. So I can see the girls are mixing theirs together as well. So I put almonds in there, and then should have got this out earlier, but I'm going to pop a little bit of cinnamon in mine. But you can put any sort of, put a bit of nutmeg in if you want to. I'm going to pop a little bit of cinnamon, and then mix all that together with your syrup, butter, and sugar.
So we put this in the pan, do we, James?
No, pop it in just in the bowl. So pour
in the bowl, mixture into the bowl.
So put it all in there. One thing I love about cooking is experimenting. So like I said before, you can use different fruit. You can also use different nuts, different spices, different things, just to make it a little bit different every single time you make it.
So James, I'm using jumbo oats. Does that matter?
No, not a problem.
Will it still stick together?
We'll see.
We'll see. So what I can do, I can blame someone, can't I? Because obviously
you can. Yeah, there's always someone to blame. We'll blame Ellen. Yeah, they were a step ahead of us.
I think that was something that it was great at England Netball. We took it on the chin.
Yeah.
But if I'm a disaster on this channel on my first time, I might have to blame someone.
Definitely. It's always better when you blame someone else. I used to blame Jamie. If Jamie didn't follow my ingredients or my recipe correctly, I'd blame Jamie, but he's not here today to blame.
I heard he had a disaster with his pancakes.
Oh yeah, it was hilarious. I hope everyone who's online, if you haven't seen it, go back and watch it on YouTube. It is hilarious. He sets the fire alarm off. It's he's not great in the kitchen. And they get Ella and me were there. Ella and Mia seen it live.
Did they? What did you think, Ella and Mia?
Is Jamie's cooking good? You can just put a thumbs up or a thumbs down.
Yeah. We had one girl at Manchester Thunder. They wanted pictures of pancakes, and one of our girls, and I'm going to out her here on Millie Sanders, she actually put this picture on of her pancakes, and honestly, they looked like either gnocchi that was huge or just mushed up potato, like mashed potato. They look, And our managing director was like, no, that's not what we want to put out on social media.
I think it's better when things go wrong.
I was like, you've got to put that out because that's saying that everything's not perfect.
Yeah, I know. I'm quite a perfectionist sometimes when I'm cooking, but you know, I like it when it goes wrong and you have to rescue it. You end up with a completely different meal than you started with.
Now, James, can we lick the spoon, or is that when I do it?
Yeah, you can if you're off camera.
I was gonna say this is not how we used to cook it with me nan. We just used to do one pan. That was it. You didn't use all this.
Yeah, no, exactly. But what you're going to do with this should go relative. It shouldn't be obviously stuck together too much, but this is going to go into our tray. So I've pre-lined mine. I don't know if you've lined yours as well, girls.
Oh yes.
Look at that. Preparation is key. So what we're going to do with half of this, because it's going to go. We're going to go oats, then the fruit, and then the oats on top.
Okay.
So it create like a bit of a sandwich. So I can see Ella and Mia are going well. They're a step ahead of us. So I'm
James, I feel like I need to use a masher, like a potato masher on my fruit. Can I use that? Right.
Should be all right with a spoon. Who does the cooking at home then? Tracey, do you do it all or?
No, I do it. I really enjoy cooking, but to be honest, I used to, when I was younger, bake a lot, particularly with my nan and my mum and stuff. And then as you get older, you just don't bake because one, you have to eat it, don't you? And then two, I just don't have the time really. So I'm probably I'm better now at cooking, probably not like proper, like main ingredients meals. Yeah.
Well, the reason why I ask is my sister's got, she's just had, well, I say just had a baby. He's about 6 months old now, so she's not far behind you. And I think my mum still delivers food packages.
Oh, I wasn't going to say that on camera, but I tell you what, my baby's the best fed baby ever because she actually makes his food. The other day we were saying, what's Neb having for his lunch? And it was like salmon, potato, veg, like about 4 different kinds of veg. And I was like to Michael, what are we having for tea? And we were like beans on toast, And we said, what's going on here? How can a little baby be better than us?
That's it. So you look after your kids more than you look after yourself sometimes.
I know. It's tough. It's tough on mums though. I don't know if you can give any advice, but when they're starting to wean and all that, and you're trying to do baby-led weaning, and just to get that much amount of fresh food in and to try and give them variety in the diet. Not only is it costly, but it takes up quite a lot of time as well.
Yeah, big effort, isn't it?
Yeah. And like pre-plan meals. Go on, sorry.
I've done. I did a course when I was just after university, and it was all on like weaning and trying to get kids to eat as healthy as possible. And it's not as simple, is it, as just get them to eat healthy food. There's a lot more to it as well.
Yeah, and then you spent like time making this food, and then Neb just either like is sick or he just doesn't want to eat it, and you're like, oh my God, I've just got to throw this in the bin now. And you're like, well, you're not having that again. You're not having anything else. And then it comes to the next meal and you've made something else. You just, you give in a lot, don't you? Yeah,
definitely. But at least he can't talk. He can't be saying now, I don't want your food, mummy. That's it. That's what you have to do. So your oats should look like that. So all pressed down nice and tight into the bowl, into the tray. And don't worry if it's not sticking together now, Tracey. When it cooks, it will more.
Right.
You don't sound convinced.
Well, I've just got this big disaster of like picking one up and it all just breaking because it's so large, the oats.
So if you leave your, you can turn your fruit off. And that should be nice and soft now. It doesn't have to be. The girls have got theirs, which is quite liquidy. Is that right? Was it all gone on now? They've put it on their oats already. So you just pop that on top of those oats, and just spread it out a little bit. I left mine in quite big chunks because
Mine are as
I want
well.
it to bite. What was that? Sorry, Tracy.
Mine are big chunks as well.
Hey, it's not a problem. So this should be nice and sweet. So when you do eat it, hopefully don't try and have too much at once because it might be a bit too sweet. So this could last you throughout the week, just to have a little bit of a snack, or you can have it part of your breakfast, or have it as a little bit of a treat in terms of a dessert.
So are we putting these oats on top now, James?
And then you should have the rest of the oats, and then just press them down on top. How's yours looking, Ella and Mia?
Are they doing good?
Okay.
Oh, I think they're better than us, James. I think.
I know.
Or is it Steph? Maybe we need to give a little bit of a shout out to Ella and Mia's mum, Steph.
Yeah, definitely. Mums always know best.
I always think mums. I just look at it, and Steph was telling me before how she asked her, Ella and Mia to play netball, and not only I'm dreading that with Nev. I think having to take him to all his sport, do all his meals, get everything ready. Mums are just, you don't realise how special they are, do you? Until you're like in that position.
Absolutely superhuman. I mean, I love my dad to bits, and but it was my dad used to take me to sport of a weekend, but anything during the week, my mum used to work nights.
Yeah,
she'd work nights, and then she'd have to, get up early, take me to football, or pick me up from somewhere, and then she'd go back to work in the evening. I don't know how mums do it. It's fantastic to see, and like you say, during this pandemic as well, it all comes to the surface again. How fantastic! So
yeah,
you're all doing great.
I think one special thing in this pandemic is it's allowed us to spend a lot more time with our family. I think if I think about the lives that me, Gary and Philip have had, and every night it was always something on. We're always traveling away. We're always doing everything. And I think the special thing is that with my nieces, they've loved having their dad home. It was like having me home. We've been forced into scenarios which are not comfortable, but actually it has been quite positive. And I think there's been a lot more access to things like Vitality, where you can get your kids joining in with stuff that are online. Jess the other day, I really enjoying her exercise. And the cooking, and I think it's really good what everyone's putting on as well. I think it's really good.
Yeah. Well, so you've got to do what you can do, haven't you, with the hand you've been dealt.
Yeah.
That's looking good anyway, girls. So you should have your oven on, and I didn't really leave enough for enough oats for the top, but you don't need to worry.
So is this going in the oven now, James?
So that goes straight into the oven. I'm just going to have to check the recipe to find out what temperature, because again,
200 degrees.
200 degrees. There you go.
I don't know how long for.
So we're not actually going to see the finished results, because this should go in for, I think it's around 30 to 40, or 25 to 30 minutes. So don't worry, we're not going to be on that whole time while we're waiting. But what we wanted to do is show you how you can put something together, a little bit of a snack. Once that's done, then just slice it up. Don't slice it too big, because like I say, it might be a bit much. But you can slice it up into squares, into strips, and you can have it as part of your breakfast, have it as an afternoon snack, or have it as a bit of a dessert after your evening meal. So relatively simple to do. What we want everyone to do is, once theirs comes out the oven, so 25 to 30 minutes, take it out the oven, take a picture of it and share it on Instagram, on social media with hashtag #VitalityHalfTerm, and then we can see everyone's different products and see how it's come out. Tracy, you've got to share yours, no matter how good or bad.
Here's one made earlier. No, I didn't.
Yeah, I don't want you to go online and looking at stock photos and getting some nice looking flapjacks. But hopefully that was relatively easy for you. Jamie's on now. He's going to put us back in order.
Yeah, well, before you wrap this up and end this thing, I've just got a few things that I need to pick up with all three of you, actually, because I thought we were friends. I thought I'd teed you up for this session. And then Ella and Mia come in and say, I can't cook. You say I'm the worst to cook with. And Tracey, you haven't even made yours yet. So until you've made a successful granola bar, you can't talk either. So actually, I think that I'm a fantastic cook and you should check out the pancakes. But James, that was really, really cool. And I know that Ella and Mia, you are fans. Mia, stop arguing. I mean, live. You need to behave right now. I know that you're fans of Tracey. So I don't know if they want to come off mute, but I'm going to offer them that if they would like to. I think they're maybe a little bit shy. But Tracey, just before we go, we really appreciate your time today. And obviously, Ella and me are big fans of yours, but there will be so many other kids that are watching right now that are big fans of netball, big fans of you, or just big fans of sport in general. And we just wanted to get just a little bit of advice from you around what you would tell kids right now. Obviously, it is such a tough time, but what can they be doing? What should they be focusing on in your experience? What's important?
I think that's really important. And what I've been seeing, a lot of people have been sharing a lot of stories with me is, you know, if you've got a ball, get outside at every opportunity. Just keep playing around with it, playing it against a wall. If you've got 2 water bottles or 2 cones, practice a little bit of your footwork running around the cones, chucking the ball to yourself. Even if you've got a tennis ball, just keep active at all times. Because, you know, if you're always practicing your footwork skills and your passing and your catching skills, you won't be far off that game, and you've not missed out on a lot. You know, you've not missed out on a lot. You'll pick it back up, you know, straight away. You've seen some great masters like Evan Beckford Chambers, people who've took a year out of the sport and come back in and played at international level. So there's prospect out there, and keep working hard. We'll be out of this soon, but we're a netball family and we're in it together.
Amazing. Ella and Mia clearly are inspired by you already. They're playing in the kitchen whilst they're cooking. So they may not have come off stage. Yeah, I'll leave that one with their mum. James, thank you, Ella, for your time as well. I think that was really fun. Hopefully everyone's learned something. Again, like James said, make sure you send your pictures in using the hashtag #VitalityHalfTerm. We'll be back again this evening at 6 o'clock for another netball related session. So Tracey, I know you'll be there. We've got 3 of the Vitality Roses joining us, as well as our Rosettes as well, having a little chat live. So make sure you don't miss that. And tomorrow we'll be back at 12:30 again for some Pilates with Louise and Joss Butler. So in the meantime, enjoy your creations. Thanks everyone for joining us, and take care.
See you later. Bye.
Thank you.